Hey, welcome back, students. In this video, I want to continue our discussion on scientific notation and discuss how we take numbers written in scientific notation and we multiply them. All right? And so there's two things that we want to make sure that you understand from the very beginning. And let me go ahead and write these down for you. The very first thing is this. You have to remember that when we look at a number, we have to make sure that we look at the m portion of that number and multiply them, okay? So the m factors here, go ahead and write this down. The m factors are multiplied. And I'll explain here with an example of what we mean. Now, the second thing that we're gonna do here, or have to consider, is that when we do this, we have to make sure that we understand that under these circumstances, when we're multiplying, the exponents have to be added. Okay? And so what does this look like? Let's go ahead and take a look at an example. All right, so the example that I have for you is the following. I'm just going to write it down here at the bottom. Let's say that we've got this problem here. Let's say that we've got 4.00 times 10 to the 5th power, and we're going to go ahead and multiply this by 2.5 times 10 to the 5th. And we want to know what's the answer here. All right, so keep in mind, again, just to make sure that we're familiar here, the m power here is going to be this part right here. This is the m factor for this particular problem on both of these problems, which means that this section here that I'm circling are going to be the exponents. Okay, and so just keep that in mind as we go forward here. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to go ahead and multiply the m factors. So that means I'm going to go ahead and rewrite these again. In this case, I'm going to put 4.00. I'm going to go ahead and multiply this by 2.5, and I'm going to treat this separately. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this times 10. And notice the exponents. We've got two of them here. We've got a 5 and a 5. So according to the second rule here, we need to go ahead and add the exponent. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say 5 plus 5. Okay, go ahead and doing the math for us here. If we go to take the 4 and we multiply that by 2.5, that portion here will give us 10 for this. And if we do the addition over here for the exponents, that'll give us a total of 10 over here. So this would be times 10 to the 10. And so this portion here would be our answer for this particular problem. Now keep in mind that the one thing that you do need to consider here is how many significant figures you actually have. And so the last thing that I'm going to ask you to pay attention to here is going to be the portion on significant figures. And so in order for us to really pay attention to this carefully, let's bring your attention back to the numbers. And notice here, if I look at this number here, the 4.00, the number of significant figures here is going to be 3 sig figs. But if I look at the number over here at the 2.5, the number of significant figures here is going to be 2 sig figs. And so if we are making sure that we are trying to provide the greatest degree of accuracy, what you need to make sure that you do is you do not provide greater accuracy than the least accurate number. And since the smaller of the two numbers, or the smallest significant figure count of the two numbers here is going to be 2, the answer that I provide has to be 2. So the only thing that's missing from my boxed off answer is going to be the decimal. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a decimal there, and this now is the correct answer to the right number of significant figures. All right? And so this is the way we go ahead and do multiplication in scientific notation. Go ahead and watch this video again if you need to. If you have any questions, see me in class, but keep watching, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.